It's like taking your multivitamin. It's everyone's favorite part of the day. Litter Media Live. Did you have something else in mind? I heard a little...
Well, when you said multivitamin, I don't think I've taken one of those since I was taking what was called Chalks, CHOLKS,
You did that?
as a kid.
As a kid?
Chalks.
Okay.
You remember those?
I never took them.
They were kind of shaped like a pillow for some reason. I don't know, but they had flavors and all that stuff.
And isn't that still a brand that's being used? It seems like I've heard some.
Well, but this one has to deal with testosterone. I'm pretty sure these didn't have that when I was a little kid. Yeah.
Who knows what it was in there when you were a little kid.
They weren't talking about testosterone like that in 1963.
Because back then, doggone it, you were born.
You were a man.
Yeah. That's right. Welcome to the program. This is where we talk about the good things going on in our community. And our community stretches all over southern Ohio. So if you are watching this for the very first time, hopefully it'll be something that you'll come back and enjoy time and time again. We're live on YouTube here. Of course, we're live on Litter Media Radio, which you can find on our website, littermedia.com. He's Mike Smith. I'm Dan Ramey. Mr. Hand 2 is off camera there running the controls for today. Coming up in a moment, news, sports, and this state in history, which is extra special today. But first, how's the forecast shaping up?
Pretty today. Partly sunny skies. The wind wasn't blowing too badly this morning when we were en route to work. High 57 is what we're expecting. But showers return Friday and are possible each day through the weekend and early next week, although it will be mild temperature-wise with highs in the low to mid-70s for the weekend.
And, of course, today is opening day for Major League Baseball. I mean, the Cubs and Dodgers started, but, they don't count.
Cincinnati makes it official.
Everybody else gets underway today. All right, coming up in just a moment, a look at news. But first, let's tell you about some of the folks who make this program possible. That includes the Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call for a dumpster to be brought to your business or your residence or down on the farm, wherever the case may be. Where you need a dumpster, they can help. Give them a call at 740-253-8389.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. We mentioned to you about littermedia.com being a source for everything litter media. While you're there, make sure you find our social media contact information. It's all up in the upper right-hand corner of an image that we usually show you about this time. Well, there it is, and you'll find that stuff up in the top right-hand corner. Facebook, X, Spotify's there, Instagram's there, and what else do we have up there? Mr. Hand, too. Litter Media Radio.
X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, radio.
Okay, very good. Just wanted to make sure. You should know this off the top of your head.
And the guy that's the manager didn't, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at news for today.
A new executive director for the Pickaway County Park District. On the left there, that's Craig Sanders, along with his wife, Jenny. Craig will be replacing Arista Hartzler, who recently resigned to stay home with her 3 children. Arista was with the Park District for 6 years and was promoted to the director's position in January of 2024. If you would like to find out more about Craig, go to our website story at littermedia.com.
Went out yesterday with the Litter Media drone and the cameras to the Ross County Humane Society. Since breaking ground last spring, the new shelter is coming along nicely. Executive Director Jen Thomas says, seeing the foundation poured and the walls going up in recent weeks, that's been pretty doggone exciting.
And it's even more exciting now. You can actually kind of get the scale of how big it is, because when it was just the foundation, it was really like, we all felt like it looks really small, but now that they're getting the walls and stuff up, like you can really, I'm getting kind of a little more excited about just being done with it.
You can't wait to get in this building, can you?
I can't. If you've ever visited our building, which I know you have, it's not great. It smells bad because it just wasn't built to do what we do. It wasn't built to do what we're doing for as long as we have been. And it's just, you know, everything is just deteriorating, and it's definitely time. This is going to be a huge upgrade.
Your supporters in all this,
yeah,
they have to be just as anxious.
I would assume, yes. I think we've had about 600 donations that have funded the majority of what we've accomplished thus far. So it's anywhere from $5 to $700,000. So it's been a huge support from the community. I'm very thankful.
The initial phases of the project took a while to get off the ground thanks to a few challenges like COVID and a rise in costs after COVID. But Thomas says the project is well worth the wait, and the dogs are going to be happy, and a lot of friends of Ross County Humane Society will also be happy as well. Yeah. You want to see that? It's up on our YouTube channel right now. You can hear everything she had to share with us in its entirety.
ArtsaRound in Circleville invites the community to experience the creative talent of local youth at the Best of Pickaway High School Art Show and Competition, happening throughout the month of April at the ArtsaRound Gallery at 135 West Main Street in downtown Circleville. This exciting annual showcase features more than 200 pieces of student artwork from all 5 of Pickaway County high schools, and that does include New Hope Christian. The gallery will have special hours April 1st through 4th from 4 to 7, and then April 5th through the 30th, their hours will be their regular gallery hours, and you should keep checking their website for any updates as far as any hour changes in those regular gallery hours, because they depend solely upon volunteers to keep that gallery open.
As mentioned last week, we want to remind you that coming up soon, it's the Pickaway County FFA Community Breakfast. And I like how they do this. I know our individual schools do their own thing here in Ross County, but this is a combined effort of the Circleville, Logan Elm, Tays Valley, and Westfall Future Farmers of America clubs. It'll be in the Heritage Hall at the Pickaway Agriculture and Events Center next Wednesday from 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. They'll be accepting donations for this pancake breakfast.
Chillicothe Water Rate Review Committee meets Thursday, April 3rd at 12:30 p.m. at the Chillicothe Administration Building at 35 South Payne Street. That meeting will be in the first floor conference room.
The Nathaniel Massey chapter of the DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution, celebrate Lafayette's final tour and listen to George Washington talk about his relationship with Lafayette. This takes place April 26th at the First Presbyterian Church in Chillicothe, one of the most colonial-type structures I think we have here in Ross County. It's from 2 until 4 p.m., $25 per person, and you need to RSVP by April 16th. Think taxes and then RSVP.
If your eyesight was good enough to see that email to RSVP, it's, I think, Nathaniel Massey, D-A-R, at gmail.com.
Glad you guys could see it. I'm wearing, I still haven't received my new lenses for my glasses. I'm wearing a second generation ago pair of glasses.
Yes, sir. Our road report takes us to Scioto County. Work underway starting Monday, March 31st, for a culvert replacement on State Route 139 between Burns Hollow Road and Smith Perry Road. That's 7 to 7 each day. And throughout the project, Route 139 will be closed. The detour will be State Route 335 to US 52, and they anticipate that being done sometime in late spring, which goes into June.
All right, very good. Standing by, sports. Details next. Haynes Total Health Care Center, One Health Drive here in Chillicothe, just off Marietta Road. You'll find them at that location where they've been now for more than 50 years. They take care of the chiropractic needs of our community, physical therapy, and nutritional needs. You want to find out more about Haynes? Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, and it takes you right to hayneshealth.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
With the start of baseball, spring is here. You see the blossoms popped out over our shoulders here. That means the grass is growing. And going on right now, Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe, has their spring sales event going on right now. While supplies last, riding tractors, which Mike prefers, starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers, which I prefer, starting at $3399.99. If you like to do the walk behind, or maybe you don't have a large lawn area and you just need one of the walk behinds to cut it instead, I've got something in my brain I'll share with you in a moment. Starting at $399.99. Chainsaws, new, starting at $279.99. Leaf blowers, starting at $199.99. And if you are one who has a small area, smaller than a push mower, and you need a trimmer, you'll find those starting at $229.99. I've seen people do that. I mean, it's like, my push mower's not working, but I'm just going to cut it with my with my trimmer. Hurry in, because the inventory is going to be going out the door like crazy. It has been. We've been down to visit the store. They say with prices like this, it won't last long. Hurry in to Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors. Time for sports.
The All-Ohio boys basketball teams are now complete. Divisions 4 through 7 came out yesterday, 1 through 3 today. In yesterday's list of Division 4, Trice Chafin of Bloom Carroll was named first team. Miles Montgomery and Bennett Kaiser. We saw these two kids from Minford, their first team in Division 5, along with Breaston Schweikart of North Adams in Division 6, and Eli Roberts of South Webster in Division 7. Now, just out this morning, and it's already posted at littermedia.com, Adam Guthrie of Miami Trace was named second team All-Ohio in Division 3, and he was one of the higher listed players in our coverage area at Division 2. Just to mention, third team included Javon McBride of Hamilton Township, and Chillicothe's Caden Cox is honorable mention along with Sky Salyers of Miami Trace.
All right, basketball is not over. We've got basketball at Chillicothe High School's Hatt Memorial Gymnasium tonight, and we had a conversation yesterday with Courtney Davis and Noah Hiles from the Pioneer Center in studio to talk about the Ross County Special Olympic events, including tonight's DD Awareness Celebrity Basketball Game. Davis,
so we have around 14 celebrities, and when they get nominated on Facebook, they're like, who nominated me? I'm not a celebrity. And we're like, well, you're a community celebrity. A lot of people know you, and we want you to just come play, raise awareness for our program, get to know our athletes, and then, with hopes that they'll support us after they play in this game.
Right. The game, again, is CHS inside Hatt Memorial Gymnasium. Doors open up at 6 p.m. Admission is free, but they'll have some fundraising during the event as well, so bring some cash. Some of the celebrities include Dan Riddle. Remember Dan?
Sure do.
Recently retired from Huntington Schools. Kevin Netter. Remember that tiny guy?
Yeah.
Is he 7 foot?
Close.
Close to 7 foot. Zane Trace principal Josh Jones will be there as well. So our Aaron Glandon's going to be there too. Mr. Hand, too, will be on hand to capture some visuals for us that hopefully we'll have for you tonight on our Facebook page. Is that we're getting a thumbs up from Mr. Hand?
Now, is Noah playing,
yes,
coaching, or announcing the game?
Chris Scott is announcing the game.
Okay.
We all know Chris Scott. Officiating the game are Anthony Beverly and some fellow named Mike Strasball.
Get him, Mike.
And coaching the celebrities, and I told him, I said, Alan, you're never going to win this game. Just give it up. But Alan Blue is going to be coaching along with Tyler Cassidy.
Okay.
Will be there. And there's another Rittinger. I can't remember the first name. I apologize. Was it Robert Rittinger, I believe, is also participating in the coaching there.
I was thinking that Noah and Alan would be two good broadcast guys to try to call the game.
You couldn't get a word in edgewise.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of a lot of fun, those diehard baseball fans have been waiting, and here we go. The Redlegs open the regular season this afternoon against the Giants. First pitch at 4:10. Of course, that picture was taken a day ago. After they painted the field up with opening day festivities. I'm sure it'll be a sellout today.
Hunter Green with the opening pitch. Dan Jr. said, I'd like to take Amelia out of school today. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Go down and enjoy it. I said, first of all, can you get tickets? I got a way to get tickets. All right, yeah, whatever. Mr. Contacts.
What's the Guardians?
Guardians are in Kansas City.
Oh, so
both
they're
of
not
them,
on. Okay.
Both of them start at 4:10 this afternoon. But Kansas City, our buddy from second base for a long time with the Reds. Jonathan India, now a Kansas City Royal. There have been some games played yesterday in high school softball, and those are all available for you on our website, littermedia.com. See, Chillicothe got a big win yesterday. They are 3-0 to start the season with a win over Logan. Unioto fell to South Webster. South Webster is one of those pretty powerful teams in this part of the country, isn't it?
Depending on the sport, yeah.
Logan Elm over Fisher Catholic. You got Wellston picking up a win over Lucasville. Weston fell to Manchester. We got a typo there. Wheelersburg, a winner over Northwest. Paint Valley takes Washington Courthouse. Amanda over Zane Trace. It was Portsmouth over Waverly. Piketon takes Memphis, and they knocked out 25 runs again. They're just a powerhouse team. Tays Valley, a winner over Centerville, Lynchburg Clay picked up a win. Sims Valley, Jonathan Alder, Liberty Union, Bloom Carroll, Southern, Gallia Academy, and Green. And Jackson picked up an FAC win over Miami Trace. And Lancaster pounded Canal Winchester in the OCC.
Yeah, don't forget, you mentioned Logan Elm, but they were state
Right.
Final Four team, and their pitcher, Binkley, last year was just a sophomore. She's back, so they'll be tough again this year. Speaking of basketball not being over yet, NCAA men's regional semifinals tonight. Alabama against BYU, Florida versus Maryland, Duke taking on Arizona, and Texas Tech is up against Arkansas.
And half of your bracket looks like that, doesn't it?
I don't even do that. I don't waste my time even trying to do that.
I've done the same. Kent State had its run in the NIT come to a close, falling 72-62 to Loyola of Chicago. Is that sister still alive? The one that was always there for Loyola Chicago?
I can't tell you. I don't know.
She was like in her 90s, I think, the last time I saw her. So
sister as in none.
Yeah, if she's not alive here on the earth, she's alive in heaven right now. So no question there.
And the Spurs at Cleveland tonight in the NBA.
Something that got past us, and part of that is because there's no league for it that we are aware of, is the powerlifting at Piketon. And I know some schools have powerlifting. It was mentioned yesterday during our conversation with Courtney and Noah about the powerlifting that they have with the Special Olympics. But Piketon Red Streaks, we've been talking about these girls in softball. They've got some powerlifters now, and they won the state championship for Division 5. This was March 14th or 15th, I believe. And we need to catch up with them. I don't know anything about the program other than the fact that one of my Sunday school students is on the team. And she was very coy about being a state champion. But
it's not an OHSA sport, which makes it difficult sometimes to track that information unless people send it to us. So,
and we appreciate Denny Hill for reaching out to us and asking about it. His granddaughter, she is a beast. And she, not only was she a state champion for what she was doing, but she had, 3 school records that were set or broke 3 records. And I was watching a video on his Facebook page, and she goes over to get the medals. And usually the official puts the medal on the winner. He hands her one, she puts it on. Hands her a second, puts it on. She walks away with like 5 medals.
She was weighted down,
And then she was coming back in tears. And so congratulations to Piketon and their powerlifting team. We need to do something on them. Maybe Aaron and I can go down and do a feature on them at some point in time. All right, up ahead, this date in history. Details next.
Litter Quality Propane, online all the time. Customer payment, account information, and more. Log on at litterpropane.com.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, the ACCA Contractor of the Year, Commercial Contractor of the Year. Congratulations. You had that story yesterday. You want to find out why they're your trusted comfort advisor? Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you to AccurateHVAC.com, and that website itself is interactive with all the services they provide, the products they provide, and the areas you will find them. And they are all over Southern Ohio. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. For this date in history, we go to
1912. 1912. Have you ever seen trees that look like this before?
Not in person. I've seen it on TV and everything else, and look at that obelisk in the background.
Yeah, one of the springs that we were in the nation's capital, they were in full bloom, and it is as pretty as this picture.
Were you sneezing all
No,
all
I
the time?
didn't. I didn't have allergies.
Were
at
there
that time.
bees everywhere?
No. Washington, D.C., 1912. Helen Taft, wife of President William Taft, and the Viscountess Chinda, wife of the Japanese ambassador, plant 2 Yoshino cherry trees on the northern bank of the Potomac River near the Jefferson Memorial. The event commemorated a gift by the Japanese government of some 3,020 cherry trees to the United States government in 1912.
That can't be 3,000 trees along the Potomac. Did they disperse them elsewhere?
Doesn't say anything about going anywhere else but in Washington, D.C.
Well, they were probably seedlings at the time, obviously, but I'm trying to think if there's that many trees that are cherry blossoms right there.
Well, the Potomac is rather long.
And it's being researched even as we speak here today. I mentioned the bees and the blossoms. I was out at Hirsch Fruit Farm a couple of years ago. They allowed me to go back while all the blossoms were coming up, and there were bees everywhere. And some of the unique footage that I was able to capture was zoomed in on some of the blossoms and the bees kind of coming up and doing their thing, you know. And that's available on our Facebook page somewhere in the video section, but also on our YouTube channel. You can check it out there. And there is an extra thing that happened on this date in history. Miss Amelia came into the world on opening day. As you can tell, Dan Jr. was prepared. The photo on the left, for those of you that are watching this, there is Brandy, and she's ready to deliver. Dan Jr. reached out to Brian Wickline of the Chillicothe Paints and got a catcher's mitt, all just for this shot. And then a few hours later, that little tyke on the right there popped out and has changed our lives. She turns 6 today.
Wow.
6 years old for Miss Amelia. She has quite the following on Facebook.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
And, I mean, every time I'm out and about, there's someone who has seen her, and they say, that granddaughter of yours. And I'm thinking, yeah, I remember back when her father was a kid about that son. That son of yours, it meant something different.
Yeah,
Because when I was working at Sunny 95, he was in the 4 to 6 year old range. And Janice Piscatelli, the late wife of Ben Piscatelli, who used to anchor the news on Channel 6, she was our promotions director, and she called him Calvin of Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, boy.
And that stuck. And every time she would see him, how's little Calvin? She'd come over and give him a hug and the whole deal. The good old days when kids were kids. They're still kids, but, I mean.
They grow up.
Yeah, they do grow up.
They become old like us.
Yeah, especially when you have one just got married back in November. It's like, what's happening here? So, all right, that's a look at today's program. We have a special event tomorrow, a special edition.
Sarah Wood, who will be in tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock to talk about the Scioto River Sweep. Judy Mannion White used to come in and talk to us about that on the radio as well as on Litter Media over the years. But Sarah Wood is in that position now, and she'll be in to talk to us about that at 10 tomorrow morning.
We also will have some guests in studio tomorrow from Western High School. They are beginning their own little thing like what we're doing for the school.
Competition?
Not competition. Not competition. But they have asked if they could come in, watch how we do what we do, because they are wanting to do the same thing for Western school districts. So, and they're hoping to be launched up and ready to go by April 15th. We'll see.
Wow, that's quick. That's a quick turnaround, yeah.
You know, it took me 2 weeks to get our first video up here on Litter Media when we started back in 2017, but videos are much different than they were at that point in time. I hope we've bettered ourselves in our production output that you see. But we'll have the Western kids and their teacher will be here with them as well. So for Aaron Glandon and Mike Smith, who are on an assignment this afternoon. We'll tell you more about that after they maybe tomorrow go out, and we'll see if it all works out.
Well, whether it works is whether anybody watches it after it's produced. That's
Right.
the key, yeah.
But to produce something, you have to have material. We'll see if that plays out.
All right.
So thank you so much for watching. Back at it again tomorrow with another edition of